Hi there, I'm Twyla, and I'm going to give you some introduction to Poi. So I have a couple different choices here of Poi that I use. Generally, you want to get something that is longer than this one, more so this guy, that it is the length of your arm to your armpit. If you get them too much longer than that, you're going to end up hitting yourself. So for today, I'm gonna show you guys some moves with these Poi. So the most important thing to know is that we are working on our planes. We have this plane going straight beside you. You have the plane in front, which is also behind. And then there is also the above. One of the easiest things to do when you do get started spinning your Poi is to look at the wall in front of you and pick a line down in front of you and pretend that you want your Poi to be going in a straight line following that. So it will go up and down. So to get started, just start swinging till you're comfortable. Can get a hip movement in there, some leg movements if you need to, and can also be modified to be a sitting thing for if you have mobility issues. So to get going, I'm going backwards on my wall plane. And one thing to remember is that this is more of a motion of your wrist than it is of your hand, of your arm. So once you get going on this and you feel comfortable with the balls going straight up and down, practice that move for a few minutes until you get your muscle memory to keep them going like that. And once the momentum gets you going, they'll keep going. Then you can mix things up, go different directions, try going forwards, try going backwards. Bring your arms up in front of you if you want a shoulder or an arm stretch or a workout. If you hold these up here like this for a few minutes, you'll start to feel it. Another fun thing to do, this is why you do not want your Poi too short. I'll move this way. Feel free to put as much body movement in as you can and get as much stretch as you can. There's many, many different ways that you can spin the Poi, and it all goes with what you're able to do. So in front, with big arm motion, you can get some good mobility, and you can bring it in and have lower mobility. That can be taken behind if you can do the stretch to get there. And just for fun, let's put a little flair into things here. So this is going to be a little bit more of an advanced move. Once you get comfortable, do your crisscrosses here on your sides, and it's overall as simple as skipping rope. And when I was teaching my elderly father-in-law, I was telling him that pretend like you're skipping. Get your knees into it. Get some mobility. Start with good posture. Think of all of your body mechanics as you're doing this, and the balls will go much quicker. And then if you get to the point that you feel comfortable, start moving around. So just going over, showing a few different exercises that you can do with the poi. All the different ways that you can turn. And if you mess up, start over. If you hit yourself, start over. Another good thing to do is if you can go up against a wall, give yourself about a foot of space and test yourself to see if you can get it as close as you can to the wall, keeping it going up and down straight on both sides. If you have complications with getting the balls going at the same time, then just start with one at a time. I'll pull in a chair here for just showing the sitting motion of this. It does work a little better if there's no arms on your chair, but do what you can. It's still doable here. And it will also make you pull your arms out and give you better stretches along the way. I'm losing a bit of control as I get further out, and I can tell that the balls are going sideways on me, and I need to kind of reset or choose a different way to spin. Go as fast as you want. Whoops. As I said, start over. So you can feel free to go as fast as you want, but the faster you go, the more out of control they're gonna be. You want this to be a slow, flowy movement to keep it all going in the right directions. Okay, now let's try some just crossovers. Again, like you're skipping a skipping rope here. This would be the same thing as doing crossovers with a skipping rope, but you don't have to jump. Way easier. And this, I'm just crossing my arms over top of each other. One, one. Before I got this one, I tangled myself up quite a few times. If you feel brave, put both your hands in front. And this is a windmill here. Feel free to stop the video at any time and just get that muscle memory working. Once you get it, you got it. Up and down. I have some nice lines on the floor here that I can follow, or I can follow on the wall in front of me. There's all sorts of variations that you can do with this. None of it is wrong. as long as you're just keeping the flow of it moving, and you can get yourself as much or as little of a stretch as you would need in the motions. This one is one of my favorites because I get to spread the stretch out through my arms and as far as I can. If you have mobility issues, one arm, shoulder, elbows, anything like that, this is a good exercise to do to get your stretches on both sides of your body at the same time. And if this arm is hurting more than this arm, try to get your stretches out there till you can get the balls moving uniformly the same way. I will find if one arm is sorer than the other, one ball might be kind of going over here somewhere, and this one is going nice and straight. And that is when you need to do some stretching on the other side to get it as equal as the other. And again, arms in or out as you're able to do. Another thing is if you can go in front of a window or a mirror, then you can see yourself head on what you're doing, and you can also pick those lines right in front of you to follow. So again, skipping, change it up, hand over hand, crosses, and start with your left hand on top, and then your right hand on top. Now, lasso practice above the head here. This one can be a little more difficult to get both of the poi going at the same time for this one. But once we do, then we get it spinning in front of us and above us. And then it's always good to try to practice going both ways. I'm always better doing it one way over the other, but that's where the practice and the muscle memory comes in. If you get lost, just either start back over, get your rhythm, and then go. Trying the different heights of the hands. Different motion, get your rhythm. Backwards. Then try doing different crosses, different hand motions. And of course, both balls don't need to be doing the same thing at the same time either. Another thing is just to even be able to stop your ball. Getting the motion going with this, and then cross, 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 cross. Take a moment and see if you can try that. And if that's too hard, hands together pretty close. You can get this going looking like a nice little butterfly. Get in either as fast or as slow as you can to keep comfortable and keep the flow. And then again, change your directions. And this is the exact same move, just upside down. So I've learned many moves by checking out the internet, the YouTube, the videos that you can find out there. And the biggest thing I can say is just keep practicing, keep doing the movements until they feel natural. And you can get as much or as little of a workout and a stretch as you can possibly push yourself to do. Again, the stretch of the arms. Both ways. One time the balls are going forward, and the other time they're going backwards. Forwards, arms over top of each other, and underneath. show you that this can be done sitting, standing, wherever you're comfortable. Just make sure you give yourself lots of room. So just a few spins of me holding it out like this. I'm definitely feeling the strength in my shoulders. Just by holding your arms out at that height, you're giving yourself a good workout. You're looking at your posture. You're getting all the stretches that you need. And the coordination. This is making both sides of your brain work together to do things it's not really used to doing. I'm gonna switch over to the shorter ones for the chair. So there is a different feel of the poi with the different length of poi that you get and the different weight of the poi. You want to have a bit of a weight at the bottom of it, something that will allow the ball to swing, but you don't want it to be too heavy. Underneath this, there is the equivalent of 2 tennis balls covered in a sock and a string. So that would be a decent weight for the poi. Now, of course, I can't get them all together. So most of those moves that I was doing already, most of them can get done from the seating position. Or of course, from standing. And then also take a peek at how the balls are going on the outside of my arm. And then switching inside, outside, inside. I'm getting a lot of good, that's why there's 2. A lot of good wrist motions with this. Lots of good turning. Lots of strength up in the shoulders and in your arms. In and out. Really feel adventurous, you can use your legs in this too. Can change the way that the ball goes just by doing a simple wrap. And using your legs on that one. I encourage you all to just try spin and spin. So notice this is more of a wrist motion than it is an arm motion. My arm should not be going like this, or else the balls will follow in that method. So, nice and simple. I didn't change the balls, but I changed myself. And that would be an introduction to Poi. I hope you guys have fun spinning.